The animal-based diet has been catching a lot of popularity recently. It has been blowing up the internet, and I felt left out. I felt like I needed to try it, and I needed to give you guys my experience with it. And it's not to be mistaken with a carnivore diet. That's a diet that I genuinely never care to try. But animal-based isn't so bad. It was popularized, or at least I think it was popularized, by Paul Saladino. He was very adamant and vocal about it, and then a lot of people started catching on to it. I would say he was one of the first people. I could definitely be wrong, but regardless, whoever did popularize this, I said I wanted to try it out for a week. So I ate animal-based for 1 full week, and the results were kind of shocking. So stay to the end to see exactly how it affected me, my thoughts on it, and just everything that went down during this week. Now, I did this really because I wanted to see the hype around this diet and if it was true. The hype being feeling better, more energetic, less cravings, leaner, and less bloating, and just overall feeling better. So let's just get into it. I'll take you through the week. I'll show you what I bought to eat and all my meals. Now, this was my starting weight at the beginning of the week, and this is how I looked at the beginning of the week. By no means was I out of shape, but I was holding on to a little bit of water because, I won't lie to you guys, the night before I decided, let me eat pizza and as many chocolate chip cookies as I possibly could take down. It was a lot. I think I approached 10. And they weren't small. Now, I don't know why I saved shopping for the morning of, but I did. And I decided to go to Whole Foods because that place screams health. It also screams expensive. Thankfully, there was a lot of fruit on sale. And I won't lie to you guys that in the past 2 months, the most fruit I've consumed have come in the form of candy. And I love fruit, so I don't know why that even happened. But I was glad that I was finally able to get some back into my diet. Now, this diet is basically just a non-processed diet. Everything that is consumed has to be either one ingredient or very clean, all natural foods. If you're going for fruit, it should really be organic. Those are the fruits that use less pesticides and chemicals when they're being farmed. Now, I know I said everything that is non-processed. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of healthy? Vegetables, right? So you're probably thinking, okay, when are we going to get to the vegetables? Well, no, you can't consume any vegetables. There is no vegetables that will be consumed in this diet. This diet may have been created by an absolute health freak of a child that just absolutely hates vegetables but loves fruit, because that's just what it seems like. Like seriously, there is a list of items that cannot be eaten because of how toxic they are, and vegetables is all over that list. I grabbed fruit, I grabbed honey, I grabbed all sorts of meats. I was looking for beef bacon because I've heard so many good things about it. They lied to me. It said beef bacon on the sign. I went to the back even, and there was no beef bacon. It was all pork bacon, and I was just trying to stay away from pork bacon. And then I saw a bunch of things that I wanted to buy that I'm absolutely obsessed with. Sushi, bread. And I can't eat those during this week, so we had to just walk past them. But I did find these things about honey mamas. You'll see more about them later in the video, so we won't even talk about them right now. If you've seen any of my other videos, I think it's been drilled in your head already. You know that I'm lactose intolerant. This was the part that scared me. I was gonna stay away from raw milk and milk in general just because you can't buy raw milk. It is one of those things where it's illegal in some states, which honestly scares me. I know that it's healthy, but whatever. Not the point. Raw Parmesan cheese. I try my best to stay away from cheese. I wanted to just give it an attempt this week and see if I could possibly stomach it and not have any issues. After I picked everything that I needed for at least what I thought would last me 3 days, hopefully, I went to go to self-checkout, and I would like you to just, pause it for a second and take a guess at what my bill was. $155. I know that's a lot, but I don't know if it's an extreme or if I, was okay for what it was, because in the beginning of the week, I had no idea how long this was gonna last me. So if it lasted me the whole week, I would have been stoked. But I did have to do some extra shopping after this, so I guess it wasn't that great. Now the week started and I was trying my best to stay in a certain calorie range every single day, but that went straight out the door when I started tracking a lot of these meats. The first meal was ground beef, strawberries and honey, and turkey bacon. I realized with all this meat that I was going to be putting in my mouth,
what did he say?
There was just going to be too much fat consumed to stay at around 17 to 1800 calories for the day while hitting my protein goal. I was doing math on math. I was trying my best to fit everything in, but it didn't work. So you guys will see exactly how I was able to get around this. I also did buy some sauerkraut. Now this is on the medium toxin list, but I have heard that it is supposed to help with gut health, and I wanted to see if this was the case, if it helped anything. Sauerkraut smells horrible. I would like everyone to know, if you've never opened sauerkraut in your life, be very aware and be very cautious of a very pungent smell. It doesn't taste as bad as it smells though, at all. The first meal came out to 531 calories, which probably is one of the highest calorie meals I've had in a while because I was on a cut for a decent amount of time. Forgot to mention that I did start my first meal very late. I ate it at around 1:32, and then I had a snack of some cherries at 3 o'clock. Now we're about to get to maybe a little controversial part, because technically during this week when you're going animal-based, if you're following the list of items that could be potentially more toxic, as in things like toxins that they have in it, coffee is a big one. I just couldn't see myself giving up coffee. I was trying to see if I could actually implement this into my life on a regular basis, not torture myself. So I still had my espresso time. It is 4:23. I'm going to the gym soon, and I'm not going to take any pre-workout because, again, we're just being all natural this week. The one thing that I will be having is my espresso time. Now here, I'm not trying to make this week torturous. It's just to see if I feel better and if I was to implement any of these things into my life. And coffee is one of those things where I would still do it after the fact. So I'm going to do it. And I make the rules. But I am going to try this. I'm going to give you guys a little taste test. It's organic raw honey, organic roasted coconut, organic unrefined coconut oil, blueberries, organic coconut flour, Himalayan pink salt, vanilla extract, lemon oil. I like the packaging. That's what it looks like. All right, that coconut flavor comes through. Am I the biggest fan of coconut? No, but this is actually extremely good for what it is. I'm going 4 out of 5 stars. Again, since I wasn't doing pre-workout or any pre-workout carbs like I normally would do, probably like bread and honey, I decided to just do a spoon of honey with some salt because I wanted to get that pump still. I'd have a snack of some blueberries before dinner, and then for dinner, I had a pretty big meal of 8 ounces of sirloin steak, 15 grams of Parmesan because I wanted to add it in slowly, and some pasture-raised salted butter. Now, this was the first time I made a mistake this week and the last time I made this mistake, because I will not be buying sirloin steak again. Maybe I cooked it wrong. I have no idea. But it took me a good 30 minutes, maybe more, to just take down the steak. It was so tough and chewy, and there was no fat, and it was a very low fat piece of meat. So what did I expect? I almost choked. I genuinely almost choked a few times. Now, while I ate that, my sister was eating some cookies. After dinner, my mom had some ice cream. Everybody was just enjoying things that I could not enjoy, and I'm only a day into this diet, so it wasn't like the cravings or anything were gone. Benefits that they say would happen on the animal-based diet, I didn't feel them today because it was the first day, and it was torture. I just wanted cookies. Now, I did have some more fruit, which I really did enjoy, that I was able to eat a lot of fruit, and then I had some medjool dates and butter. I wasn't sure how I was gonna like the medjool dates and butter, so I only put it on one, and you'll notice as the week goes on, I start eating a little bit more and adding a little bit more dates into my diet. But let me just tell you something. Come here, guys. I think I found one of the greatest snacks known to man. Tell me why butter with medjool dates tastes so good. It has to be salted butter, but tell me why it tastes so good. I really wish I could describe to you the immense enjoyment that I got from that one bite that first night. It was absolutely delicious. And I know you probably think I sound crazy. Trust me, try it. And then you can tell me I'm crazy. Or you can realize that dates and butter are the best thing that will ever happen to you. Now, next morning, it was kind of the same deal. Meat, turkey bacon, and a banana though today, and I added a little bit of honey. I only had half a honey mama on the first day, and on the second day, I had this second half of the honey mama. After finishing this full thing, I realized I was obsessed. Like it was just so good. And the blueberry lemon one, top tier. It's in my top 2. And on the second night, I did go to dinner with my friends. This was a very difficult task because I didn't plan accordingly and I was hungry. And normally when I'm hungry and I can't technically eat at a restaurant because of either a challenge I'm doing or I'm cutting and there's just way too many calories in the meal, I would get a diet soda. But I couldn't even get a diet soda. That is a no-no on this diet. So I just sat there drinking my water, watching them eat their delicious, insanely good looking food. I don't know how I did it, but I got home and I had filet, which is, you know, fancy me. I got it from Trader Joe's. It was actually very reasonably priced. I had some more ground meat, a little bit of chicken because it was the only way I could possibly hit my protein goal without completely going crazy on calories, and some sauerkraut. I also added more Parmesan cheese in on the second day because on the first day, it didn't affect me bad. It was good. I actually really enjoyed Parmesan cheese. So we're finishing off the night with 2 dates without butter and 2 dates with butter. I didn't realize how good this was. I'm obsessed, which is a bad thing. This is so dense in calories, but it is so good. I'm going to enjoy this. End of night 2. I feel good, yet I slightly feel hungry, even though I just had that huge meal. I don't know if it's more mental hunger than anything, but I just feel like I'm missing something. I'm gonna eat this and watch House of Dragons. Call it a night. Yes, I did feel at this point that I was missing something in my diet. There were usually more carbs coming from bread or some after dinner snack that just was a little bit more, I guess you could say, or what at least I thought before was more enjoyable, either from a healthier cookie or something protein based but sweet. It just felt weird that I wasn't consuming any of that. And I normally would have a protein sludge or a Ninja Creamy, and I had none of it. So it just felt like everything was just taken away from me, and my only options were dates and fruit, which wasn't a bad thing, but it didn't feel right at the moment. Good morning, or really good afternoon on day 3. We're currently eating our first meal at 1:17. Honestly, I was hungry, but then it kind of just went away. So I just pushed it back as long as I could. For honestly no real reason though. I have a huge bowl of blackberries and raspberries. I have some ground bison. This is the first time I'm ever eating bison in my life. And 3 pieces of turkey bacon. I'm gonna give you guys a live taste test of some bison. All it really has is salt on it. Wow. It's like ground meat. And honestly, it's pretty good though. So I'm going to enjoy this because now I'm starting to get hungry. And this big bowl of berries is calling my name. Third day, I changed the fruit up a little bit. I had an apple. I had a different Honey Mama. This was probably my 3rd favorite Honey Mama. Saying Honey Mama is just, I don't know. It sounds funny. Honestly, at this point, I was looking forward to my espresso time with my Honey Mama, and I was doing half a day. It comes with 3 servings, and I would basically have half, so I'd have 1.5 servings. But again, I was just eating a lot of fruit and honey. And the crazy thing was I felt lighter, and it was only day 3 at this point. I was feeling good. I really was. It wasn't, some of the cravings were kind of going away. The worst part is that there was so much temptation around me. It was the day before July 4th, and my sister was making Rice Krispie treats. She was also making chocolate chip cookies, and I was just there watching her. And just when the temptation is right there in your face, it's difficult to turn down. But I said, I'm not failing. There's no way I fail. The worst part is that on July 4th, I actually had to make a batch of cookies for my family, and I couldn't even eat them. It just didn't seem right. It just seemed criminal for them to do that to me. So it's currently 6:43, and I'm starting to get hungry again, but I've been using the bathroom a ton. It's just going through me. I did wake up leaner today, which is, cool, I guess, but at the same time, I don't know. We'll see how we feel and look at the end of the week. I decided to take today as a rest day other than running. So we'll be hitting legs tomorrow. That's going to be the real test because the workouts honestly have not felt so great so far. But another night enjoying my dates with butter. Again, this was another thing that I was just really looking forward to all day. And my calories were increasing daily because on the first day I ate 1,911 calories. And on the second day I ate 2,060 calories. And then on the third day I was up to 2,222 calories. So it just constantly was increasing. I wasn't seeing any negative effect in my body. I actually was just seeing more positive effects. Oh, and this was the cookie dough in question and the Rice Krispie treats. She had to make them look all special. Tell me why she couldn't do this when I wasn't doing this diet. July 4th was absolutely crazy. I think this is where the diet kind of took a little bit of a turn for the better. I only had 2 pieces of turkey bacon, some strawberries, and a little bit of honey before the gym. And this was around 12:30. I went to the gym. I hit an insane leg workout. And then on top of that, I ended up running on the treadmill for about 2 miles. It's currently 3:43. I just finished the gym. I hit legs and I ran 2 miles, which is a lot. And especially after legs, very difficult leg day. That's not the point. I'm genuinely not that hungry. When I finish the workout, normally I just get very anxious and I just want to go home. I want to go eat. I want to go do what I need to do. Today, I just felt fine. Probably could have gone for 3 miles, 4 miles. I should have, but I honestly hate running on the treadmill. I'm just astonished that I'm not hungry right now. I don't know how long it's gonna last, and I only ate that 1 meal that you guys saw already. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. I went to my aunt's house for a party where they were enjoying food. And when I say enjoying, I mean enjoying. And I wasn't that hungry. I didn't eat my second meal until 5 o'clock. And yes, I saw the food in front of me, but I was kind of okay saying no to it. I wanted it 100%, but it wasn't something that I felt like I needed. I went home, had my chicken, I had my Honey Mama, and today was the last day I had only half of a Honey Mama because I realized I could fit the whole thing into my diet and it wouldn't affect me. Up until this point, honestly, it hasn't been so bad. I don't necessarily think I'm craving things, but I do miss certain things. I will say this though, eating something like this helps because I have such a big sweet tooth. I just can't see myself getting away from that. I don't know. Now, when they did go home, I wanted to do something a little bit crazier for you guys. You know, try a recipe out, see if it'll turn out good. I tried making some plantain tortillas. I'll just let you guys see what happened. So for dinner, we're gonna do some ground meat with some plantain tortillas. And to make the plantain tortillas, I have roped my mom into doing it for me. But it's gonna start with some plantain, and we're gonna use butter, I think, or coconut oil, maybe olive oil if we have to. We're using the food processor to blend the plantains up. Okay, so we're no longer going for tortillas. We're just going for pancakes, and we're gonna just put the meat on top of it because this is the way it's turning out, and it's not bad, but it literally just looks like a sweet potato, a sweet plantain pancake. They're extremely hard to flip. I had to come up with some, you know, wild way to actually flip it because it just wouldn't stay stable. They turned out more like a pancake. I wasn't too upset about them. It tasted good because it was literally just plantain and salt. We also put some in the oven to see how they turn out. Honestly, no better. Now they're sticking to the pan. This is just a disaster. Okay, this is ugly. It wasn't what I was looking for. So I had one like a taco, and then the rest I just kind of broke up on there. But again, I ate so much food. I finished day 4 at 2,276 calories. I might even be underestimating that as well because I didn't track the plantain tortillas. I just kind of put in what I guesstimated I ate. Now the rest of the days were very similar in eating. The only difference was I ended up adding in a full honey mama every single day after that because I could. It was 390 calories for the full thing. Every single night, it seemed like I had added more dates and butter in as well, and it just got crazy until I was eating around 2,500 calories for the last 3 days of the diet. Now, on the Saturday before the diet ended, I did try liver, and the thing about liver was I've only heard bad things about it. I've heard some crazy people talking about how they just love it because of the nutrients, but I've never actually heard someone say it tasted good. And you know what? It didn't. It didn't taste good, and I couldn't add onions to it. I couldn't season it with anything spectacular. It just was a salt, a little black pepper, which I probably shouldn't have even done that, and some butter. I tried my best to just eat it as fast as I possibly could without thinking about it. But knowing that it was liver and the aftertaste that it had, it honestly just turned my stomach a little bit. Maybe it wasn't as bad as I was making it out to be, but again, knowing that it's liver, a little bit of an aftertaste, it wasn't a good mix. I ate that. But again, I had my medjool dates and butter to look forward to. I wasn't too upset. I really started enjoying the Parmesan cheese with some sauerkraut. Everything started tasting good. I was actually looking forward to majority of my meals. The way I got around with hitting my protein goal was I had to add chicken in. I know Paul Salandino doesn't eat chicken, but I needed some sort of lean protein to actually hit that 150 gram mark relatively easy. Normally I would use protein powder if I needed to get 1 scoop, 20 grams of protein, but I couldn't. Now Sunday came around and I ate the most calories I did the whole entire week at 2,700 calories. I decided to treat myself with 11.3 ounces of ribeye. I also had 2.5 ounces of chicken breast and I had some plantain. Dinner was very, very packed with good, delicious food. I was not eating bad. At no point was I eating bad on this diet. It wasn't what I am normally used to, and there was no cookies or no cake or no desserts. Honestly, on day 7, I was okay with that. What I really enjoyed was that I was able to eat a lot more food, and when I went to bed at night, I wasn't that hungry. Normally, when I finish my protein sludge or a late night treat where it would be like a protein cookie or some sort of treat like that, I would feel as if I was looking for more. I needed more. I would always have to force myself to just go to bed, even though I felt like I was hungry still or I could still eat, and I didn't enjoy that. On this diet, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, after 4 to 5 days on it, that kind of just went away. Once I finished my dates, I was good. I was genuinely happy. I went to bed no problem. There was no real craving. Yes, I felt like I was missing out on things, but it was not a true craving where I felt like I needed it. Now we're gonna get into the results. The next morning, I woke up at 152.8 pounds, so I was down weight. I was lighter than I started the week. I looked so much leaner. There was striations that I only had really seen when I was truly cutting at around 1,600 calories. I was astonished. I was shocked. So let's talk about this. What do I think about this diet? Would I continue it? How did I enjoy it? Let's do a little recap. In the beginning, honestly, yes, it was a little bit difficult just completely switching up from a processed food diet to a whole food diet. I felt like I was missing things. I was craving things still in the beginning, but as the week went on, that kind of subsided and I was enjoying all the meals that I was eating. I really was enjoying all the fruit that I was able to eat, and I was extremely happy with the fact that I was able to eat more calories throughout the day. There was really no point throughout the week where I was starving. There might have been one day when I let myself get a little bit too hungry. That was it. Other than that, I didn't really feel hungry. I was able to hold myself off till dinner. I had basically 2 really big meals and then the honey mama and the dessert. My days started just flowing. The one thing I will say about this diet is there is ways around how much you spend, and you can probably do it on a budget, but if you're trying to do it in the most healthy, fashion where you're getting organic, grass-fed, all the good options of food, it might come out a little bit pricier. When you go out with friends, sometimes you might not be able to eat because of the things on the menu, and depends on how strict you're being. If you don't know how they cook it and you don't know what the oils they're using, it also makes it more difficult to eat out with friends. So there are some cons to this diet. There is one more thing where I think that this diet needs to be tailored and fitted for the person. A lot of my workouts did not feel amazing. I didn't feel as if I could get the same pump that I normally got when I would have certain carbs before the gym or a good amount of carbs. I felt as if I needed to eat maybe a lot of fruit or a lot of honey before the gym to get the same results. It's not an issue, but it is something that would need to be figured out and tailored to the person just to feel comfortable and enjoy your lifts and your workouts. Because I did notice that that was the only area in the week that didn't feel the best. That's where I need to figure that part out. That's where the balance comes in. Maybe adding sourdough toast or some sort of other carb, potatoes, things that maybe not be so animal based where they have a little bit more of the toxins that are considered on that list. Other than that, I am blown away by the results and I felt better. I looked leaner. The one thing that I don't think really was affected was my sleep. I actually felt that I was more energetic when I was going to bed, so I felt like I could probably stay up longer. Normally when I hit my bed, I'm lights out in under 5 minutes. I was kind of not tossing and turning, but I just felt as if there was energy that I needed to waste. I don't know if that was because I just had energy that I needed to use or what. Maybe the diet was just helping my energy. I don't think I would have had any better results taking out the coffee during the week as well. Did I feel like I needed the coffee? No, but at the end of the day, I drink coffee just because I enjoy it. I enjoy the flavor. I enjoy the taste. I enjoy the routine behind it. Just sitting down, drinking my coffee, kind of just taking a step back from working and just enjoying that moment. That is probably something I would keep in regardless if I continue on this diet long term. Here's the thing. I don't think I'll ever be the person that will completely throw this down your throat and tell you that
this is the only way, the best way to do it.
But I am an advocate for it now. I do think that this is a very healthy way to diet, allowing yourself to eat more food and get leaner and lose weight. You just feel less inflamed. You feel less bloated after meals. It is very nice. I will be implementing a lot of this stuff into my daily routine, into my daily diet. I will be going on a road trip soon and then I'll be going to LA, and I do want to enjoy food. I want to try different things. So I probably won't be following this diet very meticulously until after all of that. So that's mid-August, but I will be implementing a lot of this stuff into my diet right now, adding in more fruit, adding in more whole foods. Probably I will add in some vegetables here and there. I do miss having some onions and some lettuce and some salad with my meals. So that is one of those things where I will kind of make it my own. It was very eye-opening. I went into this week being a little bit of a skeptic. I knew that I would feel maybe a little bit better, but I thought that I was going to be hungry. I thought that I was going to be craving a lot of things. I thought that it was going to be extremely difficult. Once you get past the first few days, it actually is phenomenal. I am a fan of the animal-based diet. I actually do enjoy it. I look forward to it. I want to continue it. And like I said, I will at some point once I am more settled in not traveling so much. But other than that, if you guys have any questions about the diet, about anything that you want to know, leave them down in the comments. I will get back to all the questions. That was a week of eating animal-based. I don't know if you guys are as shocked as I am at the results. If you guys figured that that would happen, I don't know. It happened. So hope you guys are having a great day whenever you're watching this, wherever you're watching this from. I'll see you in the next one.